afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to Mythgard in Middle-earth. My name is Corey Olsen, the Tolkien Professor, joined as always by my friend Gryfflet, who seems to have decided that all of this food laid out on the sideboards, which is going wholly unattended as the people of Middlemead, run around and panic and pack and things, it would be a shame to go to waste. So he's been helping out around the Mead Hall here in the meantime. But Gryfflet, it's time to get back into action. And up and at 'em, here we go. And let's head out and go back to the solving of mysteries and the figuring out whether or not one of Wormtongue's minions is indeed at mischief here in Middlemead. Good morning, everybody. So good to be back with you guys today. I am unusually happy to be back and playing Lotro with y'all today. This is always such a pleasure and a privilege to hang out with you guys on Friday afternoons at the end of my week. And there are some weeks when it is particularly nice and relaxing to get to do some fun story adventures with you guys. So that's it's just always a nice break at the end of a week. All right, Hildolf, what do you have to say to yourself? Have you been doing sketchy business? Are you manipulating the shipments around here? It would be just like Wormtongue to try to interfere with one of the mercantile centers and therefore create shortages and difficulties in other places. So you are number one on my list, Hildolf. Oop.
Greetings, friend of the Rohirrim.
All right. Here to buy or... you're sorting out the Thane's affairs again, are you? You throwing some shade there, Hildolf? You'll get me one of these days? Okay. I'll get you one of those days? Okay. So I guess I was right. Now then, what is it that Magla wants you to do? Aid us? Surely that cannot be all. Gryfflet, if you wish to spend more time with us, you had naught to do but ask. Okay. The traders are more than capable of managing their own affairs, but if you insist on helping, who am I to stop you? Okay. I didn't know I was supposed to help him. I thought I was investigating him. Anyway, Folkbur, Deorwald, and Beored are a busy bunch, but call it ill luck if you will. All have been visited by nasty troubles as of late. You can find them at their posts where they so often are, and speak to them at your leisure. Perhaps it is good that you come to aid them then, for who knows what other troubles you might help them avoid. Boy, this guy is so full of innuendo, I have no idea actually he's doing a good job, because I have no clue what direction he's coming from here. Okay. All right. I mean, I feel fairly confident he's up to no good, but, like, what's his plan? I don't know. Anyway, okay. Too much innuendo is a bad thing. All right, Deorwald. Deorwald of the receding hairline. You're looking good, man. Rocket.
The Rohirrim have need of your
So Hildolf has told you of my worries. My apprentice left... No, he didn't tell me anything. You have worries? Great. My apprentice left in a rush this morning and told me he was traveling to Pendlock's farm for reasons that were not made known to me. He took the last of my horses, apart from the one you're currently grooming, I suppose, and rode out upon the fields. Normally, I would not expect him back for some time, but I need him back at my side for our tasks today. If you would, track him down on the fields, as I'm sure he's still riding along at a slow pace. And I can catch him on foot? What kind of horses do you sell here? Should he be unable to give you a reason for this senseless journey, send him back here at once by any means. Okay, so I should, like, beat him up, tie him to the back of his own horse, and
Will you aid the Rohirrim?
Okay. Oh, wait, and there's something else. My apprentice's disappearance is quite concerning, but so too was the loss of my stock. When I... Yeah, okay. All right. When I awoke the other morn, they had all gone from my stables. If someone thought this a cruel prank, I know not, but they must have been spooked for their... Oh, the horses, not the people who perform the prank. For they must have been spooked, for their tracks away from Middlemead appear to have been made in a frenzy. If you would search all the fields to the south, I'm sure some haven't traveled far, and it would mean a great deal to me if they were returned to my keeping. Maybe they went to find Shadowfax. That's true, Hologro. Can't rule it out that it's someone else's horse, then he just loves grooming. So he's just... Actually, yeah, he's not holding a brush or anything. He seems to be petting the horse, so that's nice. Sorry. Okay, who's the other goo? Beored, there you are.
Greetings. If you have a moment, I have need of your assistance.
Excellent. Hildolf sent you to aid me? Curious. You see, all of my goods were sold to a nobleman in the Stonedeans earlier today, and even now they make their journey there, so I have naught for you to do here. I believe the route's safe, but if Hildolf thinks it's so important, perhaps you can guard my stock in its travels. If your steed is swift, I am certain you shall encounter the cart along the road to the Stonedeans. Okay. And... must be you. Hi, Falkbur.
The Rohirrim will need your aid.
Gryfflet told me you would... Sorry, Hildolf told me you would be able to help me with my troubles, so thank you for your aid. You see, my family lives in a small homestead southeast of Middlemead, and none of our crops have been coming into the village for a day or two. We have had lapses before, but this one has me worried. Oh, let's hope we don't find your entire home in flames. I sent my friend Torwolf to check on my family earlier today. If you would, meet him at the homestead and see if you two can figure out what is happening. All right, let's try to get to the bottom of all of the insidious goings-on here in Middlemead. All right, and I will, while I'm traveling... Let's see. First, let me decide which I'm going to do first. Let me look at the... Let's see if I can be assisted by the map here. Oh, look at all the things. I guess the one on the road to the Stonedeans is actually first. Okay. All right, so we'll do that one first. Okay, and then in the meantime, I will get a lore question. Let's see. Oh, right, man, I forgot. Like, Bill Stickers provided us with a whole catalog of them last time. That's really cool. Okay, all right. So I'll queue up two. First, just a quick question from JJ asking. This was in response to our discussions that we've been having on Dante's Inferno in the Mythgard Academy class. Were there any books I can recommend that detail medieval morality and metaphysics, particularly ones that would explain the logic and reasoning behind their beliefs? The number one place to go for that, the first place that I would definitely send to people is to C.S. Lewis's book, The Discarded Image. It's an excellent book. It's an old book, of course, written by guy who's been not around for a while, but The Discarded Image is C.S. Lewis's. But it was basically I think it was originally a series of lectures that he gave at Cambridge when he moved there, and it's like the culmination of a lifetime of medieval scholarship and reading, and it's very illuminating. He does a wonderful job there, so that is definitely the place to begin for sure. The other question, so the first of my Bill Stickers questions. Hang on, let me just hang on. Uh-oh. No sign of the cart. Oh dear. Bill Stickers was asking, so the kings and queens of Numenor had Quenya names, like Tar-Miniatar. Later they took the scepter with Adunaic names, like Ar-Pharazôn. But isn't Ar, the prefix, Sindarin for king? And if it's also Adunaic, how come it's the same word in both languages? Great question. And this can be most easily explained by the... Adunaic was a late language by... hang on. There's a thing. There's an Avank jaw trap. I assume that's a trap made of Avank jaws and not for Avank jaws. Along the road and throughout the surrounding forest, you have discovered crude traps of Dunlending make. These traps would hamstring even the mightiest of steeds and could be deadly to any passing warrior of the Rohirrim. If you were to destroy these traps, the people of Middlemead would be protected from such a fate, and the road to the Stonedeans would once again be safe for travel. Okay. Yeah, anyway, okay, so like I said, this is most easily explained by the comments that are made about human language at the beginning. If you so Adonaic is the sort of remnant of the, it's, you know, the human language of the Edain. And I was saying that how it's a late language. Tolkien, of course, had been working on and revising both Quenya and Sindarin, or those languages which were eventually called Quenya and Sindarin, for years already, many years already, before he started doing Adonaic. He began writing Adonaic when he was doing the Numenor stuff. It was like in the middle. He kind of interrupted the middle of writing the Lord of the Rings. There were a couple times when he took like breaks in writing the Lord of the Rings, and that was one of the things he was doing. It was the Notion Club papers and the. Hang on a second. I'm just like wandering about now. Ooh, new map. Lovely, but not what I'm looking for. Did I miss did I not stand in exactly the right spot to trigger some kind of message about the... Oh, would you please? Wolf, seriously. I love new maps. But anyway, let me see if I can find the... Oop, there it is. Broken fence and marks of a cart barreling off the road, almost like Carry-On is barreling down this road while I'm trying to read text. Okay, see, I did miss it because I was over there looking at jaw traps. I have an idea. Let's dismount. Okay. Anyway, so as I said, he was writing Adonaic later on. So in the Silmarillion, he'd already written that when Finrod first met the humans, he was very swiftly able to tell what was happening. Uh-oh. One curiously empty barrel? That's not what's curious to me. The fact that the rest of them are not empty is what's curious to me. But okay, let's check it out here. I'm picking up barrels. Can I carry multiple barrels of weapons with me? I guess I can. Great. Oh, there's the empty weapon barrel. I'm examining. Hinting the weapons are now in other hands. Oh dear. Like these? Hi. Dunlending Raider, huh? Oh wow, you guys are doing some damage. That's impressive. I'm impressed. Alright. Oh! Oh, the Dunlending and I die in each other's arms. How exciting. Anyway, okay. Yeah, these guys are awesome. Yeah, would you stop it? Just knock it off, okay? All right. Okay. Disarming the enemy. While investigating a wrecked cart, you have discovered a barrel of emptied swords. You surmise the nearby Dunlendings have armed themselves with the stolen weapons. So I should defeat the Dunlendings and reclaim the stolen arms. Boy, let me not tell what's her name about this particular quest. I mean, this strikes a little close to home. I'm glad Nonna isn't here, right? Yeah, a little close to home, as I say. Anyway, okay. So where was I going? Oh yeah, Adonaic. That's what I was talking about. Boy, I've got to collect 8 swords. I've got all kinds of things to do around here now. All right, let's see. How many jaw traps? All right, almost done with those. So anyway, so I keep interrupting myself. I'm going to endeavor not to do that again here. When Tolkien wrote Adonaic, he had already said that when Finrod met the humans, he had an easy time understanding them. Not only because he was able to read their thoughts, but also because the language of the men resembled the language of the Eldar in many devices. The language of the men from which Adonaic is derived is heavily influenced by, if not actually derived from, the language of the elves. So there should be similarities. Like if you find similarities and similar like borrowed words and things in human languages like Adonaic, similarities to Elvish languages in particular, Sindarin, not Quenya, because it was from the Avari, and possibly the Nandor and stuff that they, that the humans were learning, these words and having their language influenced. It's exactly what you should expect to find. If you were able to do a really close comparison of Adonaic and Sindarin, based on the philological information that Tolkien has given us in the narrative, you should be able to find a number of similarities between the two. So it is my suspicion, Bill Stickers, that connection is very far from accidental. The connection between the Sindarin word for king and the titles of the Adonaic titles of the kings of Numenor. I think that is very much supposed to be there, and that's exactly the kind of philological, like, I was almost going to say riddle, but it's not exactly right. Easter egg, in some ways. That's how Tolkien thought, right? That's exactly the kind of that's the sort of thing he himself was extremely interested in, is the way in which particular words and particular forms get adapted from one language to another. It's exactly connections like that. It's actually it's exactly the perception of connections like that, which led to the whole science of philology. Basically, it's like what Tolkien's academic discipline was based upon, was noticing that there were overlaps of that kind in languages which one wouldn't necessarily have thought had connections. So anyway, that's I think that you raise a wonderful point. Okay, let's see. So the early humans had met elves before Finrod's encounter. Yes, definitely. He definitely says so. They had encountered some of the Avari in their wanderings and such. So yes, they absolutely had encountered elves. Now, that doesn't stop them from being super impressed by Finrod when they meet, because Finrod it's one thing to meet, Avari in the wild, and another thing to meet a Noldorin lord you know, straight out of Valinor. So, yes, that's why they mistook him for one of the Valar, because he's kind of impressive. Okay, oh man, I've only gotten 6 swords? Okay, and where is the last of the Avonk-jaw traps? No, it's not the Scarn deposit. It'd be nice if I could see anything. Okay, so, all right. Yeah, Phil says, apart from anything else, I suspect Finrod glows in the dark just a tad. Would not be the least bit surprised to discover that it was so. He has got to be the most sparkly. Remember, you know, he's not just one of the Noldor. And remember what that means. You know, what it means to, you know, what I'm getting at when I say he's one of the Noldor. One of the Noldor who are, you know, famous for their craftsmanship. I mean, his clothing would be gorgeous and bejeweled. And remember that not only did the Noldor, like, invent gems and jewels, but Finrod himself had brought more jewels out of Valinor than any other of the Noldor. So, like, everything from the style of clothing, the kind of armor and weapons that he was wearing, the artistry and I mean, these are specialists, and not only specialists in metalsmith craft. So this would have been, and again, like the gems, like the sparklies, he must have, imagine the firelight, you know, glinting off of his jewels. He must have looked like, I mean, again, not hard to imagine that they took him for a god. Was Finrod a craftsman himself? It is suggested that all of the Noldor are craftsmen. They don't all have the same crafts. They don't all specialize in the same thing. But it's what Noldor do. You have recovered many swords. Okay, great. Excellent. So I've recovered the swords. That's done. I still haven't found the last stupid jaw trap. Where is that thing? Oh, no. Stupid walnut branches. No, walnut branches. Not what I'm interested in. How odd. Hello, Mr. Avonk Jaw Trap. Yeah, I've completely lost any idea of like what direction the road is in. The map says it should be in this little area that I'm traveling, but maybe the color spot on the mini map is wrong. And it is more up along the road. Let's see. Let me go back to where the wagon went. Oh, there it is. There it is. Great. Well, I was hoping not to aggro her, but whatever. Okay. Does this mean that Thranduil was chasing Finrod's rep given his love of jewels? No, it was Thingol's rep that Thranduil was chasing. When he is contemplating that he does not have nearly as many jewels as other elf lords of old, I'm almost positive that Thingol is his model there, rather than Finrod. though Finrod is the standard for sparkly gems. Okay, I've cleared the road of cruel traps. People of Middlemead will be thankful for my aid. I'm so glad to hear that. Okay, hang on a second. I think that means that I now... Oop, no, that's not what I mean. This is what I mean. I now can trait up carry-on. Ooh, look at that. I've got 3. I didn't even realize that. Let's see. Shields will be splintered. Deadly pursuit. Okay, yeah, let's do that. All right. So what happens? Do I just, like, trade up my war steed until I have all of the traits for every line? That's kind of interesting. Okay. Oh, I forgot to get my presents. What do I get? Marks. Okay. Don't really use them much. And a heritage rune. It's not that that's not kind of useful, especially since I have comparatively new legendaries. But, you know, not as much fun as some other presents are. Okay, wait, there's something else sparkling behind the tree? I think it was another Avant jaw trap, wasn't it? I think I finished all these. I think I'm done up here. Pretty sure I'm done up here. I'm going to hope that I'm done up here. That's what I suspect. Okay. All right. Hey, be on your lookout, man. There's like this forest is crawling with Dunlendings, setting Avant jaw traps and such. All right. Let me go. Let's see. I'm headed south now. So let me just go around the town here, or kind of through the town, and then head south. I've got to look for Deorwald's horses. I've got to go to the homestead, and I've got to find the apprentice. Let me refresh things here. Hang on, where are we? We're in Rohan. That's where we are. What's it called? Let's see. There's the Wildermore ones. Kingstead. Yeah. Yes. Okay. Great. Okay. Okay. No, that's not really the one I need. Right. Searching for the apprentice. That's it. And oh, not Ellen Fremeden. Not yet. She's good. Okay. Great. Great. Let's do that. All right, so we're looking for the apprentice. We're searching for horses. Oh, no. Sorry, my arrow is taking me. My arrow says it's taking me to the horses, but it's taking me right back into town. Did the horses come back of their own accord? Weird. Oh, I didn't see this part of town. Well, this is kind of nice. I like the purple flowers around the fire. It's a little odd, but it works for me. Hey, what do you do here, man? Oh, are you an armorer? How exciting. Okay, no, yeah, this is a great part of town. And the guy who hasn't lost all of his horses. Okay. All right. That's fine. Okay, so let's Aha. There we are. Hello, Mr. Horse. I have to dismount in order to encourage the horse to return home. All right. You know, I have to say the deer here in Rohan seem fairly peaceful. It's really good to see. Uh-oh. Hang on a second. Better dismount. Remount on carry-on. And then put on my invisibility helmet. Yes. Great. Okay, because now I have horses to find. Oh no, that's a spying Kraban, which I am not surprised to see. Okay, hi there, horse. Oh, I see. Oh, I have to ride it back? Oh. Oh. I see. I thought I was just... Because, you know, usually horse rescue quests in Rohan, you just have to have a little talk with him. You know? I see. Okay. All right. I apologize. Yeah, I left that other one in the lurch. That was sad. Okay. Fine. We'll go back and forth. In which case, I'll queue up another lore question. All right. Let's see. Rosybug. Awesome. Yeah, Rosybug has been doing a whole bunch of word use research in the Lord of the Rings. This is cool. Okay, so Rosie, what do you say? Why do I think that out of the 252 uses of the word orc in the Two Towers, only 5 of them are lower caps, when in the other books it's mainly lower caps that are used? Okay, that's a fascinating question. So, Rosie, could you give me examples of the times that it's used in lowercase in the Two Towers? If there are only 5 instances, what are they? Where am I going? If there are only 5 instances, what are they? That's what I'm interested to know. I will say, in general. There we go. Okay. All right. Where's that first horse again then? I will say in general, Rosie, what I found, so this was an issue, I came across an issue like this. I don't know that it's the same issue, but I came over an issue like this while I was writing my Hobbit book. And when I was arguing with the proofreaders at Houghton Mifflin, because one of the things that they were wanting to do, they were like, you're being inconsistent with your capitalization of, you know, like race names in Tolkien. And I was like, no, I'm following Tolkien's usage in the Lord of the Rings, or sorry, in the Hobbit itself. And they're like, yeah, but he's inconsistent in his capitalization usage, you know, and we would rather you didn't do that. And I'm like, no, like we're not correcting Tolkien's usages. And so what I was able to, so I, thought this through, and I had help at the time from a wonderful now alumna of Sigun University's MA program, Alyssa House-Thomas, who helped me sort of work through this. And the conclusion that we came to, it was Alyssa's suggestion originally, and I think I was convinced she was right, was that he uses a capital letter. So take the word elf, for instance, in The Hobbit. He uses the word elf with a capital E when he's referring to it like as a people, when he's using it as a proper noun, essentially, as like the name of their race. But he does also use it as a common noun. And when he uses it as a common noun, so like, for instance, he would say, in Mirkwood dwell the wood elves, capital W, capital E, because that's he's using that name for them as a people, right? But when he talks about, if he uses the word elf as just like a common noun describing like one particular person in one particular place, right? Like the elf pushed the barrel down the hole, he would use a lowercase e, because then it's just a common noun. It's not, the elven people who are pushing the barrel down the hole generally. Okay, great. Rosie's given me her examples. So in Helm's Deep, neither orc nor man withstood them. Well, that holds with that usage. In Flotsam and Jetsam, I never expected to see those again. I marked a few orcs with mine. Yes, that too. Another example of it, common noun there. The Black Gate closed. Beneath the hills on either side, the rock was bored into 100 caves and maggot holes where a host of orcs lurked. Okay, and then in the window of the west, I would not snare even an orc with a falsehood. So certainly in all 5 of those cases... Oh, wait, hang on, there's another one. That was only 4. Right, to let the sly wanderer go free, or to be caught by orcs till all he knows, and tell all he knows under the threat of pain. Right, so 2 speeches from Faramir. Yeah, in all of those instances, you can see those are common nouns, right? He's using those as common nouns. I'm going the wrong way. They're common nouns, just like describing random orcs, not speaking of the orcs as a people, right? As a collective, not that they're like, a nation or something like that exactly, but you see what I mean? So Rosie, let's see if this holds. Why don't you give a few of the examples of the capital letter? And by the way, Rosie, I'm really delighted that you're pointing this out, because I have to admit, I mean, many of you know what a staunch advocate of audiobooks I am. I am a massive audiophile myself, and I very rarely read books with my eyes. I will refer to them and do work with them with my eyes when I am writing, when I'm taking notes and things like that. But when I am reading myself, especially for pleasure, I always read audiobooks almost exclusively. However, Rosie, I will say, this is something, I am I've heard many people try to say that, like, you just can't, like retain the same amount from audiobooks as you can from printed books, to which I would always respond, well, maybe you can't, but speak for yourself, dude. Different people, learn different ways, and for some people, they retain audiobooks a great deal more than they would retain it if they read it with their eyes. But anyway, this is something. Patterns of capitalization, that is something that I'm almost helpless to see. I'd never noticed this trend before, because I haven't read through The Lord of the Rings in print, cover to cover, in many years now. Again, I refer to them a lot, but as far as, again, when I read for pleasure, I listen to the audiobooks. So I had never noticed that pattern of capitalization. It's really great to draw my attention to it. So hang on a second. She gave me 2 examples. Okay, I think you are wrong. It is orcs they hate, referring to the Huorns. Yeah. The Taming of Smeagol, orcs don't cross the marshes. Okay, yeah. That seems to me to fit the pattern. It is orcs they hate. They hate. It's not like groups of individual orcs, right? It is orcs as a class that they hate. Capital O, because it's being used as a proper noun in that case. Orcs don't cross the marshes. It's not like those orcs over there don't cross the marshes, right? Again, orcs as a class don't cross the marshes. Whereas again, when Faramir says, I would not snare even an orc with a falsehood, he's referring to a hypothetical singular orc. Like, if I had an orc captive, I would not attempt to snare him with a falsehood. A host of orcs lurk in the caves and maggot holes around the Black Gate. But again, it's not like the orcs live in these, there's multiples of them, right? They're very plural in that instance, but that doesn't make them any more. Sorry, I almost forgot to put on my hat. But that doesn't make them any more. Oh, is that the same horse I just rode back? But anyway, being more plural doesn't make them any more, collective, proper noun. So that's my suspicion, Rosie. I mean, again, that was my that's the pattern that I've found in the past, and what seems to be, and again, I found this again and again. Anytime you find this kind of, I'm not saying that Tolkien is never inconsistent. Goodness knows, like, he's not perfect. We were just talking in Exploring the Lord of the Rings a couple days ago about some of the inconsistencies in his chronology, for instance. I'm not saying it's perfect, but this kind of inconsistency, like a purely linguistic inconsistency, I am not convinced that Tolkien ever did that by accident. Again, I'm not saying that he never made a mistake anywhere, but if you find what seems to be a systematic inconsistency, like that he's doing things one way, like capitalizing things in one place and not capitalizing them in another place, and that like that's happening all over the place. If you find that, my suspicion is that what you will see is that there's a pattern. This is what Tolkien did. Like, this was his job, was thinking about usage and language and the development of language, and there are a number of things that he has like opinions on, or theories about, or is just kind of playing with ideas. And again, I'm not saying it's always effective. I'm not saying he never makes a mistake, but he's never, when it comes to language, syntax, even punctuation, he's never just sloppy. Never just sloppy. If you're seeing that kind of a systematic inconsistency, there's probably a reason for it. Maybe you decide it isn't a good reason, but he almost always has a reason, in my experience. Okay, so I'm looking for, what's his name? Torwolf. I'm looking for Torwolf, and apparently I'm supposed to be searching under haystacks. I suspect that he's asleep in a haystack. Oh no, wait, maybe that's him. What are we looking at, dude? It's quiet. Too quiet.
Will you aid the horse lords?
All has been quiet, and I've seen no sign of the crofters. Yeah, it is too quiet. There should be farmers here, right? Okay. Falkbear told me of her concerns, and they seem quite warranted, so let us search the farm. I shall scout the farmhouse, and you should begin by searching the windmill. Perhaps I can get a good look at the surrounding fields. Okay. Apparently I'm going to also search the haystacks. Cutting the chaff, huh? As you explore the farm, you overhear curious rustling sounds coming from what can only be the haystacks nearby. You should investigate the sources of these strange noises and search each of the nearby haystacks to ensure the safety of the people of Middlemead. Protecting the people of Middlemead from haystacks. Oh, but not... Aha! Okay. There we go. Dunlending, ambusher, and haystacks. Gotta be on the lookout. Can't watch those haystacks too closely. But yeah, Phil, that's a classic example. For me, in my opinion. And another debate I had with the Houghton Mifflin people. Phil points out there are lots and lots of hyphenated compounds in Tolkien's work, like Orc Trail, Orc Prince, Orc Host. And he wonders whether Sparrow's hyphenation conjecture comes into play here. Yes, that's exactly. That's a classic example. Once again, in my usage throughout my Hobbit book, I tried to follow. Okay, I guess nobody was home in that haystack. I tried to follow Tolkien's usage again, which meant that in some places I was hyphenating words or phrases which are either not hyphenated in contemporary English or are one single word in contemporary English. And they wanted to correct me to modern usage. And I'm like, no, I'm using the Hobbit usage, not modern usage. And again, they were, trying to argue Tolkien was inconsistent about this, or just like wrong. And I agree with Sparrow's hyphenization hypothesis. The Sparrow hyphenization hypothesis goes like this. Sparrow Alden is the name of a Signum student, alumna, staff, faculty member, all around wonderful pillar of this Signum community. Sparrow Alden's theory goes like this. When Tolkien hyphenates two words, he does so in order to sort of suggest or imply that in the original Westron, in which the book is being translated from, there's one single word. So like the word orc trail, hyphenated orc trail, that there's a different word. It's not just the two words orc and trail in Westron. There's like a separate word or special phrase that is used to convey this particular concept that he's hyphenating. We don't have one in English for this. And so as theoretical translator, Tolkien is not able to, is rendering it in English with the hyphen in order to show that, again, in the original language, that's a thing. Whereas it's not a separate and independent thing in our language. Now, I don't go so far with this theory. What on earth is happening? Oh, that's the shadow of the windmill going around, like just here in the darkness. Seeing, I thought there were like shadow grims going around in a circle there that looked really freaky for a second. Anyway, I don't go so far with the hyphenization theory as to say that I don't think that this necessitates us imagining that Tolkien like had actually written the text of the Lord of the Rings in Westron in his head and was actually translating from it. That's not the point. The point is when he in writing it in English encounters a concept that he believes in the original language they would have had a word for this. Either like hobbits would have had a word for this, or there a word would have developed for this in this whether it's Hobbit culture or other cultures or whatever, they would have had a separate word for this or a unique phrase for this. So he like registers that as he's writing it and indicates that with the hyphen. That I can easily believe. That he would have been sensitive to the kinds of words which might be when you're translating from one language to another, or when you're reading things in another language, the kinds of phrases that you would come across which are separate vocabulary words or phrases in one language but are not in another language, and the kind of differences that you might expect to see between Westron and English, right? Like it's not only that I find it plausible that he would be thinking in that way. I'm not sure he could turn that off. I really am not. Like, that's how he thought. Like, this is what he did. Not just professionally, but for fun. I mean, like, this was his thing. Like, this kind of interest in how words develop and the similarities and differences of words and phrases and approaches in different languages. Like, that's his world. Like, that's his oxygen. So yes, I absolutely can believe that he thought in that way. Yeah, good. Phil points out that assistant to the man who changes the points at the mainline railway station is one word in German. Exactly, Phil. German is a great example. Like the way that words get strung together like that with those like really long and difficult for English speakers to pronounce German words, right? The way they just keep like kind of adding, compounding things on. That's a wonderful illustration of not only like cultural differences behind languages, which could influence this, but just sort of like structural, kind of, to use a metaphor, kind of tactical differences in languages, right? You would get if he were dealing with like an imagined story that had been written in German, right? But he was writing in English, but imagining that it was translated from German. I can bet you, Phil, that he would have anticipated a lot of those kinds of constructions, right? And tried to kind of be true to that in his theoretical adaptation, if you see what I mean. Like, that's exactly the way that he thinks. And so this is why, again, that's why for me the hyphenization is a classic example. There will be some people who will look at this and be like, yeah, Tolkien is weirdly inconsistent about how he uses hyphens. And yeah, if you don't see the pattern, it just looks like weird inconsistency. But I am very convinced that there is, in fact, a pattern there. And that, you know, again, however weird it might be in one way or another, did he do it on purpose, or was he just sloppy about how he used hyphens? He was not just sloppy. All right, so I've expelled several Dunlendings from haystacks, and that I think we can all agree is a good work. All right, so we're going to come in here, up the windmill. Boy, this thing looks like it's about to, I feel these stairs are about to rot through. Oh, well, I'm glad I came up here because there's apparently a backpack middle of that field, which I didn't notice. So he was right. Oh, this is a good place to look? Okay. Let's look. Nothing. But the swaying crops below, and a sweet, sweet backpack left in the middle of them. Okay, where was it again? Down there? Yeah, there it is. It won't even let me jump off. Okay. No, I don't want the adorned chest. Who wants an adorned chest? I want a backpack. All right. All right. Great. Now, I should go back to what's-his-face. Oh, no, I got to search the farmhouse? I thought that was his job. Am I supposed to do his job, too? And is that not the farmhouse? Where am I? Is that just the back door of the farmhouse? Okay, let's go around the front. Doesn't Wigan like adorned chests? Maybe. But I don't think... Don't you have to be, what, like 95? Ooh, Gryfflet's 90. I keep forgetting how high level he is. Uh-oh, voices inside. Maybe they're friendly voices? I'll come see. Hi, everybody. No. Oh, dear. Well, that's no good. They're just hanging out by the hearth. Find Torwolf. While searching the homestead, you have encountered crofters held prisoner inside their own home. Oh, man. All right, let's see. Wanted to see if I could attack them both from stealth, because that would have been pretty boss. Okay. Hey, it's okay. Make a run for it to the town. Hey. I'm trying to set people free over here. I guess that's exactly what you're wanting to prevent, huh? Well, I think we're going to have a disagreement about that, Mr. Dunlending Raider. No, Wigan is a scholar. Oh, are those the scholar things? Okay, no, yeah, you're right. You're right. Sorry. Now, I was mistaking them for those other chests I've been ignoring forever so long because they're only openable by level 95 people. Wigan has never come here to... he's never come up this far in his crafting. So, all right, captured crofter, be free. You two, what are you, just like lounging in bed here? He's in armor, lounging in bed, tapping his foot. Hey, bestir yourself, dude.
This is intolerable.
just when I was getting comfortable. I did not trust my fellows to get the job done, and rightly so, it seems. Torwolf, what is wrong with you? This homestead belongs to the Dunlending now. Oh, you're a traitor, Torwolf? Oh my goodness. I did not see that coming. Oh, did you stun me with your little hammer? We'll see about that. Yeah, no, so you're right. Sorry, Phil. Wiggin is a scholar. Scholar stuff comes in adorned chests nowadays? Oh, here's the other captured crofter. Oh, this guy's settling in again over here. Alright. Looks like he's doing yoga. You find your center, dude, and, you know, I'll go tell. What's her name? Alright, let's see. I have rescued the crofters from a grim fate. Now the harvest can begin anew. Great. All right, I gotta tell Falkber she was betrayed. Where's the slow-moving apprentice? Is he over there? I guess so. All right. I'll go hunt for him over there. All right. That's great. So awesome word question, Rosie. That's great. I'm so glad you're doing this. It is really fun to dig into word studies like that in the Lord of the Rings. It's very rewarding. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so Bill Stickers asks, are there slaves in Gondor? It's never mentioned, but when Aragorn frees the slaves on the ships of the Corsairs, there's no trace of outrage about the fact that they're slaves. On the contrary, it seemed very natural. The same is true for Numenor when Numenorians took people from Middle-earth to be their slaves. I disagree with you, Bill Stickers, about that passage. In fact, remember, it emphasizes that they had been enslaved by the Corsairs. And, you know, now they manned the oars as free men, right? So, like, the fact that they had been unjustly enslaved and now were set free once more, like, how I read that is like they were, you know, they were returned to their, like, proper status of free men. And as free men, you know, they plied their oars to try to help, Aragorn and the people. So I think that there is, I do read, not exactly outrage, but again, I'm not quite sure what form of outrage you were expecting exactly. Like a digression on the evils of slavery, that would be out of place, especially since they are at war. Right. So that it's, of course, very undesirable and they rescue the people from it. But it's hardly like shocking exactly that when the Gondorian citizens are captured by their enemies hold them prisoner and force them to labor. Right. I mean, that's what would you expect their enemies to do with them? You know, enfranchise them and you know, give them seats in the representative government. I mean, it's like, of course they're going to hold them. So like, it's it's not commented on more because it's precisely the sort of behavior you would expect from the Corsairs of Umbar, right? What else are they going to do? So I don't think it, it doesn't come in for like, and like, if you can believe it, they held them as slaves. Like, oh my goodness. Like, of course they held them as slaves. Again, that's like normal for those people in that context to act that way. But I don't think, again, that, like an anti-slavery rant in the middle or something is, I don't think that that's something we would expect at all in the text. As for the Numenorians, hang on a second. Let me finish that sentence. So, oh dear, he's dead. All the horses are dead. And an Uruk war leader is standing among them. Excuse me, sir. Wasting my time, only 3 and none of them dark. What a worthless lot. Oh dear. The Uruk does not appear to notice you as he mumbles to himself, but suddenly his head jerks up and he glares in your direction. And you, is this your doing? He said there'd be more. Ah. The Uruk notes your confusion and raises his weapon. Well, if you ain't in on it, then you gotta go. A plot to sell or give, especially black horses, to the orcs, that is appalling. I'm appalled. I stand here appalled. Oh, sure. Oh, now your warg is going to come and attack me from behind, huh? You think that's going to do you a look of good? Well, I think you'll find you are incorrect about that. Come here, Mr. Borg. Oh my goodness, look, I half killed you with my back turned. You gotta be kidding me. Once again, we die in each other's arms. It's fine. I think I have to go back to the town anyway, don't I? And I know this is nowhere near the town, but yep, I do. Great. Oops. Milestone. My milestone's at Edoras. No problem. Anyway, okay. So, yeah, exactly, Phil. It's almost like I'm killing Balrogs. It's like my theme of the day, right? To be slain, but in my dying, ooh. What is that? I'm in Stoke? Oh. How did I get up here? Where even is this? Okay. I'm like there's a Gondorian ruin right there that I've never seen, but I'll get there. I'll get there in the fullness of time. Apparently I have to go south from here. How strange. I followed the landscape. I wasn't anywhere near Stoke. I guess apparently I was nearer to Stoke than I was to Middlemead. Oh, there's like a river and stuff? Okay, oh yeah, there we go. There's a bridge too. Well, this is an unusual way to discover this road. I look forward to returning and checking out those ruins. Nice little covered bridge. Okay, I assume this road will take me back now. Great. Okay. Okay. So I was talking about, let's say I was attacking. Oh yeah, I was about to say, as for the Numenorians, that's the sentence I didn't finish. As for the Numenorians, you're of course quite right. The Numenorians did enslave the people of Middle-earth. But remember, that was a progress of corruption. When they first arrived at Middle-earth, they were friendly and benevolent and helped the local people to like improve their architecture, their architecture, presumably their agriculture is what I meant to say, and other things. Like they were kind, friendly, benevolent. They were like treated like gods who came up out of the sea. However, when However, when as the Númenórean society became more and more corrupted, they began to change. They began to lay the people under tribute, and then finally took them as slaves and sacrificed them on their altars back in Númenor in the times of Sauron. So that absolutely does happen. And so therefore, slavery is a part of the later Númenórean culture. But I do not think that is reason to assume that it's part of the Gondorian culture as well, because he randomly, he says with no antecedent whatsoever, remember that Elendil, Isildur, and Anarion were the faithful who were in rebellion against that corrupt culture. And there is absolutely every reason to believe that the slavery of the people of Middle-earth and the enslavement and human sacrifice of the people in Middle-earth were some of the very things that they were most opposed to. There's every reason to believe that, and it is they, of course, who established the culture of Gondor, the Númenórean culture of Gondor. So again, I don't think there's any real reason to suspect that. And as I said, I do have a different reading of the particular passage you're talking about there, Bill Stickers. Okay, let's turn in our quests. How are we doing for time? Not bad. Beorid.
Welcome and well met, my friend.
Yeah, sorry of the cart and rider's fate. Agreed. Oh, right, I've been carrying barrels of weapons and armor this whole time. Wow, Gryfflet is so strong. Okay. And I found your horses, Daerwald, but bad news about your apprentice. Very bad news. Not only his death, but he was part of a plot. Let's see. I brought back your horses. Curious, though, the only ones you could find were pale of coat. I wonder what's become of the rest. Yeah, I can tell you what's become of the rest. Here I was about to reprimand the boy for being slow to return. I am unsettled by the Uruk's words. From the sound of it, he was sent to merely feed my stock into the enemy's hands, knowingly or not. This was no errand of mine, and I fear the man who would have arranged such sinister dealings. Agreed. All right, we've got Dunlending ambushes on the supply carts. We've got horses being sold into slavery in Mordor, and a traitor in one of the homesteads. He has been a trusted friend of my family for years. Why would he attack you? I assure you this was not my doing. You must believe me. All that matters to me is my family is safe. What has become of Rohan? Indeed. All right, Hildulf, what do you have to say about this, huh?
Greetings, friend.
I do not expect to see you in so soon. I trust you did not have trouble aiding them. You tell Hildulf of the numerous grim events of the day and the strength of the enemy nearby. Tragic but all too common these days. You are awfully lucky to have escaped such a fate. Now then, Magua must be missing you. Off you go. Okay, I kind of was thinking of confronting him a little bit more directly than that, rather than just reporting to him. All right. I'll tell the Thane. It's possible the apprentice was a dupe, and not a conspirator, but I don't know. I don't know. The Corsairs were Black Númenóreans, so would be in favor of slavery. More likely. I mean, they're not like just Black Númenóreans, but they are, that is the evil Númenóreans who are, not, from descended from the King's men. But there is that influence in their culture. Down further in the south, in Umbar, is where the primary ports of the King's men were. So the Númenórean slaver culture definitely had its center down there, which means presumably, like down there in Umbar, would have been some of the primary slave markets of Middle Earth, back in those days. Again, it's not just like 100% their culture still thriving there in Umbar. But they certainly do have their heritage from there, so it would not be shocking if slavery were still a normal thing in their culture. That's possible. We can't prove that, but that's possible. Again, but I don't even think that that's really relevant to that particular situation. Again, when you are at war and you capture a whole bunch of people, what do you do? I mean, like, I think that's what they would do, even if it doesn't necessarily mean that they customarily buy and sell house slaves or field slaves or things like that. I mean, they might, but it doesn't prove that, like, the fact that they have taken a bunch of their enemies prisoner in war doesn't prove that that happens, right? Is what I'm saying. But it might well be part of their culture down there. You were away for some time, Gryfflet. I had begun to think you would not return. Okay. You encountered many dangers, but outlasted them all. Your skill is unquestionable, but I am curious why Hildolf would be so quick to send you away. He has never been one to be flustered by the chance happenings of a day, for better or worse, and all of these suspicious dealings with the apprentice, missing horses, and failed shipments. Something is afoot. We shall start with Hildolf. Yeah, I think we should end with Hildolf, too. Bring him here, and we shall see what he has to say on these matters. I'm sure that'll go smoothly. But sure. I shall fetch hither Hildolf. And we will see. All right. I won't start a new lore question now because we have some more plot that is happening. Did I miss the turn? Sure did. Okay. All right. Oh, look. He's not there. Who's surprised? Anybody surprised? Oh, to my dismay and complete shock, Hildolf is not to be found. I can't believe it. He's done a bunk. That's kind of why I wanted to be a little more firm with him the first time and not just tip him off to my suspicions before reporting to Magla, who continues to sit in a creepily empty mead hall. You should be up and about more, dude.
Our mission is dire.
Hildolf's gone, is he not? I thought as much from what you told me before. For my part, I sent a few guards to his home as soon as you left, and they informed me that his home had been torn asunder as if he had departed with great haste. Among his keepings, they found the shredded remains of a note signed by Wormtongue. We have found our traitor. I agree. Ooh, cloaks. All right, let's have a look at this. That's a little disappointingly plain, not gonna lie. Let's see. How about this? They all look the same? Okay, fine. Let's see. Huh. This is actually a bit of an upgrade. Yeah, fine. Let's take the embroidered cloak. Woohoo! Look at that. Look at you, Gryfflet, level 91. Let's equip that bad boy. And being somewhat tired of the helmet, which is kind of fun and everything, the helmet that hides my face completely, let's instead show the cloak. No, not that cloak. The one I just got, the one I'm wearing. This one. Yeah. Okay. There we go. Let's do that for a while. Wear the Kingstead cloak to go along with the Kingstead gear. I still need boots. I don't have Kingstead boots. I'm missing the complete set, and it bothers me.
The Rohirrim will need your aid.
It was Hildolf. I should have known, with how our resources dwindled these past few weeks. The wretch intended to starve us out by feeding our goods into the hands of the enemy, but fie on such underhanded dealings. Let him run, and while he gathers his wits, my people will make for Edoras. One matter remains before I can send my people away. I wish for you to bring my wife and son to my side here in this hall. I must speak with them before the time is too late. Oh dear. Are you contemplating something rash, Magla? Not our future. Huh. Okay. Is this Magla's house right here? No. Which one was his? Oh yeah, that one with the banners out front. Okay. Baduhild. My husband wishes to see us in the hall. Very well. Seoka and I will make our way there as soon as we are able, but I would ask you to aid me with something first. That's fine. I'm here to help. My husband cannot wield a blade as he once did. I noticed that, and it has troubled him greatly to sit idly as battles are fought and won. Seoka is nearly of age, and I would have him take up Magla's sword so his legacy as a warrior might begin anew. The sword is upstairs, and though Magla enjoys not to look upon it, you will find it there. Okay. Whoa. Is that Seoka? Him. Wait, you want me to give a sharp, pointy object to him? I'm in favor of Rohirric lads taking up the swords of their fathers to continue their legacy, but, not sure this isn't just a touch premature. But, I think that this lad has seen too few winters, is what I'm saying. Look, he's barely taller than me.
And well met, my friend.
Mother says I can have his sword. Seoka takes the blade and turns it, watching the reflections change with a fascinated look on his face. I must show father. I want to defend Rohan for him just like he did for me. That's adorable, but I think this is a bad idea, Baduhild. Not sure Thane Magla is going to thank me for this. Yeah, Phil, I'm also thinking it might be better to wait until they're at least as tall as the sword. Yes, that's more or less exactly my thought. Rosie, I also am not sure of what the coming of age is in Rohan, but I'm guessing it's north of puberty, is my guess. Yeah, okay, so, your wife made me do it. Just saying. Don't get mad at me.
Our mission is dire.
Magla's stony gaze betrays a great deal of unease. Gryfflet, if you would, please ready the wagons. Time grows short for my people to travel to Edoras, and I would not wish them to be here any longer than they need be. Leave me here. I must speak to my family alone before they join the others. Oh, good. I'm glad I won't be here when you speak to your family. Boy, I'm really hoping that a tragic end does not befall this particular piece of meddling on Gryfflet's part. Ready the wagons. Weren't the wagons down this way? Didn't I pass by some wagons on the way in? Uh-huh. Hark. Oh, no. You're just a scout. You don't have a wagon. You do have a quest ring, though. What's up with you?
Rohirrim will need your aid.
You've just come from the Stonedeans. I met a fellow on the road there, Otter, told me of the many problems afflicting those folk. It would seem that people are beginning to flee the land. Who will help them when everyone is looking west to the fords and to Helm's Deep? Oh. Here you are to give me a random vector quest? Is that a grayed out ring you have, dude? Why is his ring grayed out? That disturbs me. Am I too high level for this dude? That can't be true. The quests are all like level 87. Oh, I'm not high enough for it yet. So he's going to like vector me to somewhere that I'm not high enough level yet? Fine. The gray ring is to send me to Helm's Deep later on. Okay, fine. As long as it's in the future, I don't mind the grayed out ring. I just want to make sure. I just don't want to miss anything. You know, Gryfflet wants the whole Lotro story. Okay, more wagons. No, any wagons. I didn't meet any wagons. I thought there were wagons, but I guess maybe I'm remembering wagons I saw over here. Weren't there no, just the wrecked wagon. Did Hildolf steal the wagons? Boy, there's meant to be wagons all through this area. The Grey Ring Scouts have become very common in the more recent expansions. Okay. That's good to know. Okay, now... Alright. Maybe the wagons are down in the southern extension of the town. No? This town is strangely wagonless. There we go. Hark! Lo! A wagon with 2 Gs. I love wagons with 2 Gs, by the way. What did I do exactly to ready it? Like, what actions did I perform? I mean, am I like, you know, checking the tires and the oil pressure? Or like, what exactly? Placing? Did it say placing? All right. That's 2 wagons. I'm loading all the barrels I've been carrying around. Oh, there it is. Okay, what's my present participle? Placing? Am I going to get that one again? Let's see. What's my present participle? Yeah, placing. Okay. Yeah, maybe I'm packing them with barrels. Okay. Fine, fine. I think maybe I can finish Middlemead today.
What business have you with the rebel?
They have gone. As you readied the wagons, my guards rallied the people. Now they can leave with a glimmer of hope that brighter days lie ahead. They shall set out immediately, but you and I have one last matter to discuss. Is it about your sword?
Need of your services.
The people are safe, and that is all that matters. Let them have their hope. I have known this war to be over for some time. But to speak truthfully, I see not the hope that others do. You've known this war to be over? You and I are the last of Middlemead, and should you wish to live, I would suggest you flee to Edoras as well. I was born in this town, grew to lead it, I will die in this town, and I swear, arm or not, I will die a warrior. A feudal sacrifice is what I was expecting. I'm just hoping it wasn't your son. So, my goodness, there's a lot of things to choose from here. I think when the time comes, I'm going to choose a vibrant Kingstead sword. That sounds like fun. Ooh, maybe a reinforced mace. That sounds like even more fun. Okay. Let's see what happens. Let us have a drink. Okay. I'm traveling to a drink.
Having seen his people ride to safety at Edoras, Thane Magla awaits death in his mead hall, as the White Hand prepares to raise Middlemead.
Okay, let's have a drink. The war has long been over. I'm not tracking with you there, man. To send my people away was not a gesture of salvation. Instead, I sought to grant them hope in the fleeting days of Rohan. To grant them hope that there still remained a place to run. To grant them... Oh yeah, I already read that. Okay. I wager the White Hand will be here before long, and here they shall find me. Fine drinks and an end to my suffering. Is it not a good death? Not actually, no. Not really. Yeah. Stand with your people, dude. Tell Magua no. Yeah, It's not a good death. What hope do I see? Hope of victory. Perhaps not by arms, but hope of victory. I tell him the story of my adventures in the Eastamnet? Okay. Yeah. Strength and hope from such unlikely places, but I am no warrior, not anymore. Yes, you are. Yeah. That's right. Of course I'm right. You can still lead and help your people. To die skulking in a hall is a sorry end for a warrior. Absolutely no skulking here. My life is owed to my family, my people, and Rohan. Yeah, why not stay alive for your prepubescent son? It is not mine to toss aside. No, it is not. That's right. Ha-ha. A din rising outside the mead hall signals the arrival of the White Hand. They are here. Let us meet them and see if we cannot escape to Edoras. Yeah, let's escape. And help your people, because you're like their leader and stuff. Oh, did we escape? Or do we have to fight now? Oh, we're fighting. Okay. Hi, Thane Magla. You need me to give you a hand? Sorry. That was unworthy. Okay.
What brings you to these?
Alas for Middlemead. Look what the White Hand has done already. That's pretty bad. We must move swiftly if we are to escape with our lives. Oh, man. It's worse than I feared. Yeah, you're expecting me to protect you? This is an escort quest now? It is worse than I feared. No problem. I'll get them. Yeah, you shield yourself. Though, if I were you, I'd have gone all Mithros on him, man. You know, to, Hey, stop attacking Magla. He's just finding his hope, man. Yeah, I would have gone all Mithros on him and fought with the sword in my left hand, which, you know, you had a sword sitting right there next to you. But it's all right. Oh, here we go. Let's reach the trader's pavilion. Agreed. Can I have a snack? I'm just going to have a snack. None here but Hildolf is there, right? Aha, he's back. How dare you show your face again? Yeah. Fear not, it saddens me to see my home burn as well. Oh, okay, I feel better. If you feel bad about it. It makes me feel better. Okay, I'm fully healed now. Look what you've done! Hildolf, I find knowing what treasures await me lessens the blow. You would have starved us all and left us defenseless. You speak true, but ever the wise warrior, I knew you had eyes everywhere. Regrettably, Gryfflet was a problem I could not solve, unlike Egboth. And to taunt me with the death of my closest kinsman. No fate is too cruel for you. We shall see, Magla. I find the White Hand mightier than the lot of you. Well, you've got something coming. Oh. Oh, really? Really? Is that what's happening here? We'll see. Magla and Hildolf can continue their stare down. The war is over, you said it yourself, but he's changed his mind. That's right, I'm tanking for Magla. I've been looking forward to the opportunity to cut you down to size, sir. But my riches. You're not going to get your riches, dude. Ha-ha! Chased you down. No good that was. That's right. These are your just rewards. Enough of that wretch. We must find horses and escape. Agreed. Maybe I should have left those horses out in the field, huh? What kind of path are you running? Are you trying to shake me? Okay. Oh, here they come again. Come here. Come here, warrior. Great. Yeah, I want to stop this archer from doing what he's doing because it's annoying. Oh, look, he bled to death while I was disarmed. Oh, yeah, I got this guy. Uh-oh. Hey! Hey, come pick on somebody far smaller than you. That's right. Oh, you brought a little archer friend too? Yes! Ha ha! Ho ho! We must flee before they overwhelm us. Why don't we stand still and heal first? How about that? Oh no, we found horses. Oh good. Phew. Okay. Let's just stand here until our morale recovers. And then we'll... just in case we get attacked again. Phew. Alright. Alright. That was close.
What business have you with the Rohirrim?
Yeah! We did it! I protected a person! Woohoo! Not Gryfflet's strength, historically speaking. And here we are in Edoras. Hey, Éowyn! I brought the folks in Middlemead.
I have need of your aid.
You have done well to rescue Magla from the White Hand. His people made it here safely, and I am glad you have as well. He is nothing short of a brilliant tactician, and though he may no longer be a warrior as he once was, he can still aid our people far more than he believes. Oh, you are welcome. Oh yeah, I want the reinforced mace. Because I believe that is better than my offhand weapon. Nice little offhand weapon upgrade. Sweet. Okay. Time for some more inventory management soon. Okay. Great. And that's done with Middlemead. Woohoo! With 10 minutes left to spare. Let's see, I don't have any... Just checking to make sure I don't have any landscape quests or anything like that. Ooh, I found a burglar LI. Wow, that hasn't happened in ages. That I just got a burglar LI drop. That's exciting. Okay. Right. I should probably tend to my legendaries at some point. No problem. Okay. So, quest-wise, where are we here? We finished... So, Kingstead, we just have to talk to Ellen Fremeden, which is what the Epic wants us to do also, doesn't it? Yeah, it does. So, that's in line. No, it's not what I meant. Map. Not that map, this map. Okay, we've done it. Wait, and we've done Middlemead. So we just need to finish up here in Edoras and then go down to Underharrow and stuff. And then we'll head up to the Stonedeans and Broadacres. thereafter. Oh, wait. Wiki suggests the Stonedeans vector next. So go to Stonedeans before we go to Underharrow? What are the levels on those quests? 86 and 88? And no, I have not done Aldburg yet. Maybe I'll do the... Didn't I have some Edoras quests? I did. The steward ones. Yeah, I've got to help the stewards. Let's do those. Let's do those, and let's not do the Stonedeans yet. That's a level 95. So I'll take the levels of the quests as indicators. I'm now 5 levels above the other ones. Okay. Yep. Because I had a vector to Aldburg. I got a couple vectors to Aldburg, but they seem to be after. I was kind of expecting to be sent there after Kingstead. Yeah, Blossomberry, I agree. Following after the epics is usually a good thing, and no, I would expect to finish Kingstead as a whole first, and Dunharrow and Underharrow are in Kingstead. And I have both the epic vector plus a landscape vector to Underharrow now, so I'm feeling drawn to Underharrow. But yeah, hang on, let me actually check that 1 second. The where's Aldburg? Didn't I have a vector quest? I was sure I did. The Wailing Hills? The Wold? Warband quests? I should get rid of some of these. Oh, I don't see it. I felt sure didn't I come back and pick up from Gandalf, who magically reappeared, a vector quest down that direction? Okay, the Aldburg quests are level 88. Okay, great. Yep, I'll do the lowest level first. So that's telling me Underharrow should come next. But I'll do Edoras first, including Pacing Dude. Hey, Britred, I've forgotten what you're the steward of, but
Our mission is
I should be most grateful for another set of eyes and ears. Everyone seems to be acting strangely, and there is a gloom in the air. I'm glad Éowyn sent you hither. Yeah, me too. Great. What can I do to help?
The Rohirrim will need your
Yet another lot who say they won't budge when the town empties. Old Sigun and Sigmar. They are locked in a year-long squabble over the house bequeathed them by their father. I won't bore you with the details. It is widely known they are fools. They must come, yet they will not heed the order. Please try to reason with them, whatever it takes. Okay, so knock their heads together. Knock together the heads of Sigmar and Sigun. Can do. That sounds good. And then, oh, are these the other two? Oh, no, these are the brothers. Oh, this is the empty house. That's why we're standing here looking at each other. All right, what do you guys think? Let's see. This house should be mine, no matter what my father says. I am eldest after all. If I leave, that brother of mine will try to take it from me, like he did Éowyn so many years ago. Oh, dear. Romantic conflict between brothers. No, I must remain here and keep an eye on him, for I do not trust him. Okay, Sigmar. What do you have to say for yourself?
We keep safe these lands.
My father's will was unclear, and therefore we both of us, or neither of us, own this house. My brother wants to take it for himself, just like he tried to do with Éowyn so many years ago. Did Éowyn go find somebody stable instead of either one of the two of you? Is that what happened? He never could let me have anything to myself. He thought everything was his by right. No, I will not leave. He will move in and change the locks as soon as I look away. Okay, look, guys. I should return to Bitred, but I've been knocked their heads together. No, stand a little closer over here. All right. I was going to take a little more forceful action before we... Okay. I thought as much. I will throw them in the stocks then. You reflect with sympathy upon the anger and pain in each brother's manner, and ask Bichred to give you some time to make them come around. All right, if you insist, but you do not have long. They either come willingly or in chains. It matters not to me. I am sick of their dispute. I'm tracking with you there, man. I hear you. Who is Elfwyn? Why, she is a widow who lives near the marketplace with her children north and west of here. A good lady, very hospitable. All right. Elfwyn may have advice on how to deal with them, for she knew them both well. I have no comment on that sentence. Okay. Yeah, a bang heads emote would be really good right about now. Is that Elfwyn? She's the one, the melancholic townsperson? She's famous, the melancholic townsperson. I came and almost bothered you before. Oh, melancholic townsperson, are you Elfwyn? Ho hum, what do I want? No, you're not, Elfwyn. You're just a melancholic townsperson. How can we hope to win this war? Think upon the lines. Fair Meadowsailed, seats the withered king. There the tongue of the worm gives command, they say. It is so true, leaderless we shall crumble. Okay, I will think upon those lines. And the first thing that I notice is that they're terrible, okay? Lady, those don't even scan, right? If you were to do these lines in alliterative verse, it would be much better. And then you can make some changes, because the king, withered is unkind. He's elderly, but didn't you see him come out here, like, and the tongue of the worm, like, he's gone. Keep up, lady. Keep up. She explains her melancholy with distressingly free verse poetry. There's your problem right there, lady. All right, we'll see what we can do. Maybe they scan in the original Klingon. It's always possible. Okay, and we got more melancholy going around here. Is this just like a... Okay, I guess it's just a new random quest. Has nothing to do with stewards. Alas for our fate, what an unhappy time. Fair Edoras, city of sorrow, how far have you fallen since Brago and Eorl? Boy, since apparently everybody around here started to lose their touch with the poetic mode of their people. Come on, Burnoth. What's wrong with you? Can you at least do alliterative verse properly?
Need of your services.
Ah, Gryfflet, I see that you arrived before us. We were delayed as we rode from Entwash Vale. However, that may prove a boon. Had we delivered our warning regarding the Easterlings in the north, Theoden King may have been distracted from the greater threat, Saruman. We understand that he has ridden forth to the fords of Eisen. We make ready to follow behind. Would you aid us in our preparations? There is little time and much to do. We need provisions and medicine for the journey. Would you seek these things throughout the city and bring them here? So you need me to requisition supplies? Okay. Let's hope everybody's like, whoa. We've got lots of things people need all of a sudden.
Have need of your services.
Wait a second. Who are you? Leofdag? And Ulf? And Hutha? Where did I meet Leofdag before? We prepare to ride after King Theoden's army, but I am afraid our horses will not make the journey. They have not have new shoes. These are the dudes, right? These are the yeah, the Riders 4. That's right. These are the Riders 4. Nice for them to show up here. Okay. So they want me to requisition. Okay, I thought I thought a steward was asking me to requisition supplies, which is one thing. Should I sneak like we did in Cliving, guys? Is that what I should do? Okay, fine. And new horseshoes. Okay, 16 horseshoes. That sounds like a good number.
Have need of your services.
It is well that you have come. We prepare to ride after Theoden King's army, but I am without arrows. Okay. Ask the local Fletcher. Fine. And Ulf, what do you say?
Rohirrim have need of
I'm
your
seeing to the care of our arms, but our armor is damaged and I have not the skill to patch it. Would you seek out the local smith and see if the army left any mail behind which we might use? All right, so I've got from the Riders 4. Ooh, these quests are green. I gotta... Hey, man, do you have any arrows?
Will you aid the horse lords?
We have a few remaining, but they're hunting arrows, not war arrows. You can find them. You just... Okay, they're in quivers. Fine. So what, you just left them strewn on the ground? That's not good. All right, I'm picking up quivers. Okay, here you go, Hutha. Hunting arrows, war arrows, it matters not. They will fly straight and true, and the enemy shall fall in defeat. No problem. Happy to help. Okay, and... What? Oh, dear. You look like another victim of the poetic movement. One must stand up against this insidious rise of free verse among the Rohirrim. 'Tis the war, 'tis the war. The tide is rising high. Come drown the last riders in fire and blood. Oh, man. That's no good. It's no good. Hi, Guthgar.
What brings you to these lands?
Were you not here when the army rode forth? I have a few suits to spare, but I would not sell them to my worst enemy, much less my countrymen. Oh, because they're bad. Okay, I'm like, wait, what? Okay, I can pick them up from the ground if I'm determined. Okay, right. So it's not very good, but maybe it could be used as scraps or something. I don't know. All right, I'm picking up mail. Ooh, I'm late. Okay. I'm late. Where am I going? Where are they? Where'd the Riders 4 go? Oh, they're there, around the corner. Okay. Got disoriented there for a second.
What brings you to these lands?
Yeah, well, you know, they've just been, like, arming a whole army, dude. What do you expect? Okay, oh, here's some supplies I can requisition. Let's hope they don't notice me picking that up. And more things left incautiously unattended. So that's fine. Right, just kind of go through and rob the market is my job here. Oh, those scallywags of the Riders 4. Oh. I've got to pick up 16 individual horseshoes? Oh, man, okay. I was afraid of that when they were enumerated. You know, this is much easier now that I have a delete key. I didn't used to, but I do now. So yeah, it's not my first time in Edoras. I came in for the... I came in first to get banished. That was my first trip. And then I came to... heal Theoden, which was a much more cheerful trip. No more horseshoes, eh? I only got half of my horseshoes, so I guess there's another set of horses somewhere I've got to poke around for. Anyway. Okay. Well, I think I should stop while I'm not too far behind. Okay, thanks everybody for joining me. We'll finish things up for the Riders 4 and finish going around Edoras here next time. I not only finished Middlemead, I got a little further on than that. Thank you so much for joining me today. This was a lot of fun. I look forward, as always, to joining you guys again next week. As I say, always a highlight of my Fridays in a wonderful way to end the week. So thanks very much, everybody. Have a good weekend, and I will see you guys next week. Bye now. Thanks for joining in on my rambles around Standing Stone's brilliant digital adaptation of Tolkien's world. If you enjoy these adventures, please consider supporting this and other entertaining educational programming by donating at signumuniversity.org/fund.